Hello, and welcome back to a video, finally. It's been a while. Um, Sorry about that, although this game sucks. There's a lot to talk about. I've been recording, like, every weekend I've played, and I've got just clip after clip after clip for, I don't know, it's been 2 months now or something. I'm probably just gonna upload them all in one compendium without talking over it, just to not that I expect anyone to watch it, but just to get them off my PC. Um, yeah, I've really wanted to make content, but this game just isn't worth making stuff for. But I like making it, and to be honest, I wouldn't be making this one if it weren't for the couple of you who left comments being like, I miss you. Somebody said you're the only content, or only YouTuber I can watch on this game. I'm like, aw. Which is nice considering I get like 80 views. I'm really small. And so every comment helps, but yeah, I feel bad it's been a while, but also this game has just been such a mess. I think I stopped around Team of the Year, which is, I think, where about everything went downhill. So for backstory on that, I go into Team of the Year with I think it's about 9 million coins. At the end, I had like 140 saved packs. And once again, this is an account shared with my dad and I. So I do all the online games, he does all the offline, he likes squad battles and all that. So we get all the objective packs and everything. There's a lot of packs available, all that stuff. But we had like 140 of them saved, and like 80 of them were, weekend league and rivals rewards for a while. So high quality, packs. Also, for what it's worth, I forgot to record the first 5 games, so we're starting at like game 6, I think this is. I did lose that last one. Don't really know what happened. Normally with this game, I'm either dominating and it's not even close, or there's just a game where things stop working. We'll talk about that later, though. But yeah, with Team of the Year, I go in with like 140 packs, and 80 of them are probably really high quality. But there's no secondary team in packs. We were hoping maybe the pack weight would be a little better with 2 Team of the Years this year instead of just 1. It's 24 total players. It wasn't. It was worse than ever, pretty much. We did pack Allison, so that was like a 500k there. But the problem with Team of the Year, and it's not like a problem, it's just a thing. There's no second team. It's not there's no second promo. And the gold cards aren't worth anything. So if you're not packing a Team of the Year, and all those informs are getting packed over and over, so they're minimum value. But if you're not getting one of those 2 special cards, the packs really aren't going to have anything for you. Of course, they all go into SBCs, but those all give you back untradeable packs, or Sawa and Cafu and Davies, which we were going to be able to complete anyway. Yeah, we restocked the club with all the untradeable packs, but whatever. And yeah, I was excited. I look at Javi. Javi's probably been my best player since Team of the Year release. He's phenomenal. We'll talk about that later. Sawa's really good. I'm using her as a CDM in my false 9, not her ideal position, obviously, but I can't not use explosive players, so it is what it is. And yeah, genuinely, so it's not like I'm genuinely expecting to pack Team of the Year, so even just getting Allison is more than I'm sure 97% of the player base gets. So that's fine. It's just we get. So again, we start at 9 million. We probably end at 10.5, 11 million, maybe somewhere around there. And you expect with 11 million to be able to afford some players. Looking in the past years, so every year before 23, Messi was 3-4 million on console. I play on PC, so he was probably 5 million back then. But you're looking at 5 million for Messi, and then 5 million for maybe Bellingham, maybe 2, 3, 4 million for a KDB card. So I've got 11. Okay, even if Messi's 6 or 7 million, I should be able to get a Messi and a Bellingham, or a best case, Messi, Bellingham, and KDB, or we'll see what prices is obviously the first women's Team of the Year we've had, so we'll see what the prices for that end up being. So we're we're thinking, maybe I can come away with a couple players here. And then Messi comes out, and he's 5-star skills, which I wasn't expecting. I did want the medium-low work rate, but not expecting 5-star. So I'm like, okay, maybe he'll be like 7-8 million. I'll be able to get him and just one of the other, maybe cheaper team of the years. Nope. Messi releases and is like sold for 10.5 once, which I don't think I could have afforded at the time that card was on the market. And then maybe 1 or 2 for 11 or 12, and then extinct. 15 mil for the next 2 months, 10 weeks, whatever it's been. What's the point of these cards if they're all going to be extinct? And we'll talk about this later as well, but PC market being different it's bad. It's bad for a bunch of reasons. So that was disappointing. I'm genuinely playing a false 9. Pretty much the only one who plays this formation. There's no better center forward in a false 9 than some Team of the Year Messi card. And I'm looking to get, I should be able to afford the Foot Birthday Messi that just dropped now, which is probably better than that was the other thing about the Team of the Year Messi card. I'm like, why not? Messi's the most explosive player ever. Why make him unable to have the explosive accelerate type? He should be that. So that was disappointing, but I was still looking to get the card as it is. Now a couple weeks later, looking the first Foot Birthday and going with Finesse Plus, 5-5, high-low. It's probably just a better card overall, and explosive I'll have a lot more fun with. But then the glitch player pick comes out, and I actually complete it. Like, I find out about it, and I complete it in time. And nope, it's, so their communication is part of the problem on it, but we don't know what the actual chance of getting him out of that pick was. It's not like it's not like I completed the pick, so I expected 100% to get him. It was disappointing considering probably half of the opponents I come up against now have an untradeable Messi. Also, about 90% of the opponents I come up against have some untradeable Team of the Year. Normally a pretty decent one, at least like a Renard, a Puteas, one of them. Okay, I technically did get a first owner, Allison, but disappointing to not have an outfield player. As it is, oh well. But not getting the Messi pick, so we're going, okay, how are they going to fix this? And obviously they weren't going to do anything. Their goal is to make as much money as possible, and that means giving as few people Messi after that as possible. So we're not going to get, everyone gets a free Messi. They're not going to necessarily take him away, because then you alienate the player base and get less people on the game to buy packs. Obviously, that was going to be their solution. It's just disappointing all the way around. And then we have some kind of weird glitched gameplay that I still don't understand what happened. We had, look at that goal from Neres, by the way. But we had some kind of, I don't know, the goalposts were moving or something, and it was like, I don't know, it was really slowed down. It was some weird glitch. I don't get it, but there was that. The pack weight they made worse after the first day or two, which I was hoping they would make it better once everyone was in packs, but I should have just opened like when the attackers were in packs. That was probably the best chance. But no, of course, when all the cards are in packs, why make any of them attainable? So I guess I shouldn't save my packs, and that's on me, but no, like, they just continually make everything worse, and nothing good for the players in that regard. Like, obviously they knew a lot of people saved packs up, I guess, and want as few people to get Team of the Years as possible. So I guess that makes sense on their end. And then, like, you get, like, Davies comes out, and all of a sudden people are just, he's, the fastest left back or left mid out there, and all of a sudden people are just spamming him with pace and using whipped pass plus. There are a couple other players with, like, really abusable playstyles that come out, and you start getting even worse gameplay than we had before. It's the same 4-3-2-1 meta we've had all year, but now people are just, it's like around Team of the Year people stopped even attempting to play anything other than rewards-based FIFA. You know, just exclusively trying to go for wins and wins, no matter how bad it feels to play that game in the moment. I feel like there's another glitch or two that I'm forgetting about. They had the Talo thing, was it? Some Evo card that should be like 88 rated that's actually 98 rated. We've had all the other issues with the Evos. There's a bunch of things I'm forgetting at this point. But Team of the Year was just basically it should have been the swan song. It's supposed to be the most exciting part of the year, and they make it just the worst part of any FIFA I think I've ever had to go through. Incredibly disappointing, and I just kind of lost all motivation to make stuff after that. It's like, why make stuff for this game in particular? This is... I still like playing. It's still the football fix that I want, but so many things just started going wrong so quickly. As it is, again, I'm missing one or two things. People start spamming whipped pass plus, or Xavi's long ball plus, or we just get more and more Trivela. I think the finisher SBC came out about around then. At the time, I forget what price he was. I buy Team of the Year Kevin De Bruyne for 5, 6, 7 million, somewhere around there. And I have a bunch of clips. Again, if I upload that like non-voice over just clip compilation thing, again, I'm probably not going to edit it or anything, so I'm not claiming it's going to be worth watching or anything. But if I do upload it, you can zoom through and see a bunch of clips from KDB of just finesse plus with a 5-star weak foot being absolutely absurd. I had him on finisher, so he had, I think, like 99, 99, 99, 97 for the important shooting stats. Even so, like, trying out, like, I wanted to release an actual review of him and get on that train, you know, when everyone's posting Team of the Year content and go, hey, here's all the things you can do with this card. Nope, it's just the game has not been fun enough to actually start trying to do voiceover, even though I've recorded all of it. It's really disappointing. It's just... Especially because, like, I started making content this year because this is the first year I've used a false 9. I try to use it every year without fail. Like, it's the formation I start with for the past... I don't know, since FIFA 15, so the past 9 years, is it? What a disappointing goal this is. Yeah, the past 9 years, because FIFA 15, I find it's my favorite formation by far. I've talked about it before, I'll talk about it again, just the triangles you can make, the connections, actually a 3-man midfield is really fun, the hold-up play you can kind of do with the front three to pass back to the midfield. There's all this kind of connection stuff you can do in almost a theoretical, tactical way that's really enjoyable, in a way that, you know, your standard formations aren't. The 4-2-3-1 is the next closest with the connections between the players. And that's the formation I've had to use for the past couple of years. Again, the false 9 just hasn't been viable. I tried for the first couple of weeks every year and it just falls out. So back to the 4-2-3-1 I go, which has been fine. I mean, I've liked it enough, but yeah, I didn't show all the clips from that game. I kept hitting the post over and over. There's just, again, there's like two games a weekend I just can't win, whatever happens. That's the other part. I'll get to that later. Yeah, this is the first year I've actually been able to make a false 9 work for any amount of time, and it's continued working. I keep messing with it to try to get it a little better, and then not writing down what I had it as before, and it taking like 2 or 3 weeks to find out what I had first that worked. So I'm just kind of trying not to touch it now. I've got what actually works for me, and just stop playing with it, stop messing with it. This is what it is. Just don't move from here. Yeah, but the other thing that's really put me off from videos has been I've not gotten rank 1 in a while. This is another rank 2 this weekend here. I think I've gotten one rank 1 out of the last 6 or 7, or maybe like 2 rank 1s out of the last 9 or 10. One genuine loss every weekend. You know, one of those kind of crappy games where things just go against you, but, you know, I have plenty of games where things go for me, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, one loss a weekend is fine, and then for about 7 weeks in a row, one of my losses was a hacked loss. Without fail, just one a weekend. You know, taking away the ability to lose one extra game because you just had a cheater against you. What it is, if you haven't seen it, I have no idea how to perform it. I wouldn't tell you if I did know. And yeah, I play on PC, so this has to be a PC exclusive thing. Or I guess it's why a lot of console players play with crossplay off. Yeah, you load into a match, and immediately at kickoff, all 11 of your opponent's players have the little white cursor over them. So you know when you load into a game and instead of just one they're controlling, it looks like they're controlling all 11, and you've got a problem. As soon as kickoff is taken, the screen goes black, and the only thing you can see is when the ball's in the air, there's a little, like, for depth perception, there's a little circle indicator underneath it. And even though the ball's not in the air, I don't think, you know, the screen's black, I don't know what the opponent's doing, but without fail, screen goes black, there's a little reticle that moves under the ball. Ball goes forward very slowly, forward very slowly, just a little, and then, like, makes a big kick forward, and then moves back a little bit, and then presumably flies into the net. I don't know what happens, and the screen cuts in for about half a second, and you see the opponent start celebrating, and then you just get the game just crashes. Just back to the just a genuine actual PC game crash. And don't know the actual ins and outs of it. I guess I don't necessarily care, but I don't know what happens when the screen goes all black. If, you know, obviously you can't control your players when you can't see anything, but it kind of feels like my players also disappear entirely, like they're just not there. You know, having just one, it's been pretty much a guaranteed hacked loss per weekend is, if anything, been like the main discouragement for me, not uploading anything. It's just so frustrating. This is the only game I know that has that problem. I can't think of any other game that has, like, console and PC support where the PC version just has genuine cheats that you can't do anything about. It's also one of the only games where you have a game mode that's dedicated to you have to get so many wins out of a limited amount of games you can play. So, like, I'm sure in a game like League where you're just climbing around, obviously if you're doing a tournament that's a problem, but any other game you're just doing ranked. Look at some of the tackles here, by the way. It's just nothing's possession based. Look at that. Yeah, if you're just doing ranked, then okay, you get a hacked loss, whatever, but in a game like this, you get a hacked loss. It takes away one of the games you can play a weekend. Don't know if they don't know how to fix it or they just don't care. I don't know how many years that's been a problem on PC. There's normally some kind of hack. There's the one additional one of you just play against the AI in an online game mode, but normally that's not that hard. But yeah, I don't know. The other thing I want to touch on was the PC market. In a competitively, you know, marketed game like this, where you're supposed to do all these online competitive ranked, you know, tournament-based game modes, I can't think of any other game that has a separate transfer market type thing. It'd be like going into Fortnite, and if you're playing on PC, you get like like rarer weapons are half as likely to drop out of a chest for you. It's ridiculous. There's no, like, I know the markets are separate because of the hacks and the glitches and whatever, but just fix that so you can combine it all. It's absurd that Messi, Team of the Year, is 9 million for everybody else, but for me, he's extinct at 15 million. That just doesn't actually make any sense to me. Because I can go into games against people who have the ability to buy him, and I've got the same amount of coins, and I can't, you know? Just, it's a poorly made game. It's bad. And we've got so many other issues. So I've been talking about, like, the playstyle plus spam that a lot of people do. There's also everyone playing the 4-3-2-1, which is something I rant on and on about. It's the same direct passing, one fullback overlapping. There's been a lot of people who do this thing where they'll send one fullback on a run and get the ball with the other fullback and then make what has to be a 90, 100-yard pass, sometimes with their weak foot, from one fullback to the other one marauding up the field, which there's nothing you can do about. You can't block these switches, and you can't intercept the run either, really. So people just playing some of the worst football. On top of that, you can't dribble past opponents, or you can't dribble past a player, but you also can't, as a defender, tackle and get the ball back. It's really strange. It's just such an awful balance. Because I'm trying to use these explosive, agile type players, and you think that you're going to complete a successful dribble, and in any other year you would be. But instead they make these just anticipate plus type really strange animation tackles that are either successful or they don't stop you, but what do they do? They just completely block you off. Like they're what a tackle should be is committing. You commit a tackle and you either, like, one of three things happens. You get the ball back, you commit a foul, or you're out of the play for a little bit, and you're very easy to dribble past at that point. What actually happens in this game is you complete a tackle and you either make contact with the ball and it bounces around, but you probably don't get it back, or you complete a tackle and nothing really happens and you just continue defending on after that like normal. Like you press the tackle button just to block up a little bit of space for a while. I got Team of the Year Dybala for a little bit, and like he's fun, but he's really just fun because of the finesse plus. So I went with Pele and Ice Neymar for a while. Ice Neymar with the body type and the dribbling is just probably the best dribbler I've used. Well, not probably, like the best I've used by far. That said, it's still just, the dribbling this year is the worst dribbling there's ever been on any FIFA, bar none. It's incredibly inconsistent. There are all these emphasized dribbles. The first touch is terrible, unanimously, no matter what. Particularly because everyone has this pressure type tactic. I don't know. It's such a weird game. I think the most disappointing thing for me lately has been the most recent patch. Yeah, some of the playstyles need to be nerfed. I don't think this should be a playstyle-based game. It should be a possession-based game or a space-based game. You should be utilizing your attacking AI to get into certain areas and playing a few moves ahead. So thinking, oh, okay, if I move over here, then it opens up this space over there, and I know that. And the question is if the defender is going to predict that or not. But what we actually have is just kind of getting into spaces to use the really powerful things. It doesn't feel like FIFA at that point. It feels like you're lining up an ability to use in like a team-based shooter, like an Overwatch or something. Which is really frustrating. It's not what this game should be. But then they make a patch recently that adjusts all the playstyles, and then they add a bunch of animations that make the game the worst FIFA I've ever felt, no question. It's incredibly heavy. I can still do my false 9 and it's fine, but the dribbling is even worse now, on top of how inconsistent and heavy it was before and how effective it is to block out against it. Now you can't predict in any sense what kind of animation you'll get while you're dribbling. Your players are very animated, very emphasized, very heavy. And that's with Ice Neymar, the best dribbler in the game. Like, Inception talks about it all the time, these gameplay compensators. Like, my team has been... Right now, it's been... I'm trying out that David Neres instead of Pele, but I've had Pele, this new Dybala, and a finisher, which gives him almost perfect dribbling, that Ice Neymar. Even Ice Neymar, I give an engine to make the dribbling better. I don't use Hunter on any of these players. Xavi has a basic, despite having 95 dribbling, Sawa has a Guardian, which is the best dribbling chem style in the game. Bernardo Silva has a basic. All of them have dribbling improvement chem styles, and it's still so awful to dribble with them. Unless you use technical, which I don't. I don't like just holding R1 to win. I almost never use it, like maybe once a game and it's back in the midfield to break a midfield line, I don't use it like in the box or anything, really. But it's like they look at this game and they go, it's the playstyles that need adjusted, and we're going to add animations. Like, what is adding the animations doing for them? Is that just something they can market to their shareholders to be like, hey, look, we're adding these things and we got real match data. Look, we're a genuine football-based company that's able to do these cool things. Is it just a marketing ploy? Because they made the game so much worse, so much heavier. And the other thing is, I've been waiting for us to break the cycle that we're in, and they never break it mid-game, so we have to wait for the next one, no matter what. But we've had, I think, FIFA 14 and before, maybe when I kind of started playing 11 to 14 was a very consistent feeling, and 14 to 15 was a slight shift, 15 to 16 was a slight shift, and then 16 and 17 I think were pretty similar. Or I might be getting that wrong. Whenever around 17, 18 we had the Hypermotion come out, so they had a new game engine, and then we had that Hypermotion from 17, 18, 19, whenever it started, up until 21. And then 22 through 24 have been kind of similar feeling. There have been bigger changes, so it's hard to say overall. 22 to 23 probably felt similar, but they added the accelerate styles then. So, it's hard to kind of compare 22 and 23 when the players feel that different in that regard. But I think the engine feels kind of similar there, or the overall physics of it. But what I'm trying to get at is before that we had certain metas, and then there's a meta from 17 to 21. There's a meta from 16 to 11, and there's a meta from 22 to 24. And they haven't cared to adjust that at all. I think that's the most frustrating thing, is they look at this game that we've had direct passing, 4-3-2-1, one full back overlap for 3 years in a row now, and genuinely no adjustment to it. They look at the game and they don't go, oh, maybe for next year, because again, they don't change it in the game itself. They don't go, hey, maybe for next year we should actually look into making more formations than just one viable. Maybe we should, in past FIFAs you'd have 4-2-3-1s, you'd have, the 4-3-2-1, but then 4-1-2-1-2 narrows, 4-3-1-2s, you'd have a couple of 3-back formations. Never liked the 4-3-3 is really viable, but 4-2-2-2, 4-4-2, you'd have some variation. And now, I think the last weekend I've played 17 4-3-2-1s and 2 or 3 4-4-2s or 4 3-2-2s. It's so frustrating. Particularly frustrating because I'm very clearly getting another formation to work, and nobody wants to play around with them. But everyone plays with this really simple, easy meta. And again, EA don't look at this and go, hey, maybe we can actually do something about that. Maybe we want a different game next year. I think the most frustrating realization I've had recently has been, this has to be the game that they want. Somewhere, some higher up, some executive has to go, either this is the game we want, or it's not financially worth it to change it from here. That's got to be the most frustrating thing for me. To look at the game and go, you know what, park the bus, direct passing, 4-3-2-1, have everyone defends in a 4-4-2 where the defensive blocks of 8, you've got 2 blocks of 4, are basically all in the penalty area. Or, you know, if you got your back 4 in the penalty area and the midfield 4 around the top of the D for the box. And they go, yeah, you know what, this is the meta we're going to keep. This is how we want the game to be. It's like they're going, if we allow people to set up really well defensively, then you have to, the goals you have to score have to be valid goals? Is that what they think? Like, you're not getting too many counterattacking goals. You're getting like, okay, you have to break the defense down. We're going to allow you to set up your defense really well, and then that means you have to play really well on offense in order to break that down. But no, you don't have to play really well on offense. You have to use 2 or 3 things. We have 2 or 3 things every year without fail. FIFA 15 was body feints, like finesses were pretty good, outside the foot shots were pretty good, but then body feints and drag backs, ball rolls. FIFA 16, I kind of forget. I think that was the start of the 5-star skill move Elastico really being the most effective skill move. FIFA 17, I think was La Croqueta, and then was it 18 that was La Croqueta cancels? I think 18 might have also been driven shots. 19 was flick up volleys and the worst meta you can ever think of. Like, you're doing Balassi flicks and El Tornadoes and rainbows in order to get the ball in the air because they don't program defenders to have defensive aerial based or aerial skill move based defensive animations. And then you make volleys the most effective thing to score because the goalies are really inconsistent and powerful inside the box. And then, was that 19? Yeah, that was 19. 20 is directional nutmegs. 21 is, what is it? I don't know, 1 year was directional nutmegs. 1 year was one of the other additionally new added skill moves or skill things, whatever. I forget exactly the order for all of it, but the point is, every year there's 1 or 2 things. And this year you've got your skill move cancels and touchline and Travellas. It's no different. There's always 2 or 3 things, but the longer it's gone on, the more every year is requiring you to use those things. Like, you didn't have to use dragbacks and ball rolls and all that in FIFA 15 to be successful because there was space on the field. Now you had, like, there were times this year where it felt like you had to use Travellas because there's no other way to get space on the field. There's no other area to get in where you get something effective. Same with the touchline. So, okay, this year you've got touchline and touchline cutbacks and Travellas and some of the skill moves, and that's kind of it. Oops. But yeah, like, okay, if that's not any different year to year, you've always got a couple things, but they're making the defending against it so much worse. Like, we're just gonna have everyone park the bus and have a billion players back. Like, in the past years, you had space there. You had actual things you could accomplish within the box because, you know, you maybe had 2 or 3 defenders in the box instead of 4 and then 4 right on top of it. You had people play different formations, so sometimes you'd actually get some pretty fun matchups between your formation and theirs instead of, like, I can't watch, I'm sorry, but I can't watch content creators because there's no real reason to watch one over the other. You watch Ozio or Fuji or Inception's kind of a little different. RTFM, like, if you watch any of them, it's the same formation, it's the same gameplay, really. It's the same frustration. Like, I'm frustrated in this video too, and I'm sure it's not actually that much fun to watch, but I wish I could be happier talking about the game. Yeah, anyway, the point with all of that being, they have to look at the game as it is now and go, this is the one we actually want. This is how FIFA should be. And I have no faith that they'd actually change it for the next one. You know, you would hope this game would be bad enough to where FIFA 25 would be something else. Okay, yeah, FC 25, but I don't think so. I think we're going to keep the same formation and the same tactics. And same gameplay modes. Like, it wouldn't be as much of an issue if you had other game modes. Like, if it was a climb up the divisions, if it was like any other game that has, you know, a ranked, what is it? Like MMR-based rewards you get back, then you don't need to win every game. You just need to win more games than not to keep on climbing up. If we had a system like that, then look how heavy these touches all are. This is what I'm talking about with them breaking the animations, or breaking the game with the latest patch and the animations they added. It's horrible. Where was I? But yeah, if you had actual game modes where you allowed people to experiment sometimes, but no, people just get on to win their 7 games of Div Rivals and Foot Champs, and I'm no different. And there's no reason to experiment within that. You've got a formation that works as well as anybody else's, and you get wins based on not random events in the game, but it's not skill-based events in the game. So just keep using the formation that's meta and hope you get your win so you can get off the game as fast as possible. So either they have to change the game modes or they have to change the gameplay, and I don't think either of those are going to happen. We've had the same game mode since 17. Yeah, that's... I mentioned this already, but this is the most frustrating part of it for me, is this is what I've realized. Like, I think 22, 23, you're looking at it and you're going, okay, they just messed up this year. They don't have good enough playtesters or something to have tested all the metas, and this just happened to be the meta and they didn't realize it, but they'll fix it next year. And the fact that it's this meta over and over means they're not actually interested in changing this at all. Yeah, just frustrating to realize this is the game they want to keep making. Yeah, I think I had more to say, but I can't recall any of it. That's my main point, is just... yeah, if you want to, instead of the patch they made, where you just place, like, okay, some of the playstyles need adjusted, but that's not the main thing you need to fix is how deep you can set your defense up. You shouldn't have 16 players in your defensive box. If you set up your game to where there's actual space to attack in there, you adjust everything from there. You give us space, and then you adjust the attacking AI to, you know, utilize that space in fun, semi-effective ways, like you've had in every other FIFA. Like, attacking AI was never too good in previous years when there was space. You know, you make it fun and varied, and you add in a couple more things, like players being able to make curved runs instead of just direct, straightforward runs. And things like that. Better off-the-ball movement, better coming to and then moving. Like, your players are so stationary in this game. If you actually had them go up and down the field to open up gaps, like, there's a thing Holland does in real life, that he makes runs that very obviously drag away defenders, that create space for other players to get into. Like, he doesn't have to be on the ball to be a good player, and so part of the reason of having players with great attacking AI should be that not just that they create space for themselves, but that they make runs to open up space for others, even though they're runs that they know they'll never get the ball for. You don't get that in this game. Yeah, if they just, instead of adjusting all the playstyles and adding new animations, we don't need new animations, we have plenty. What we need is you to adjust the amount of space there is on the field. Like, look at the things I could do on this attack, because this is one of the earlier opponents in Champs qualification, so you're getting the easier games. Like, you know, on that last attack I had things I can do. This one I can score on, but, like, I'm only scoring because my opponent's one of the poorer opponents at first, and they're dragging my players out from...
Excellent vision! Now for the finish!
So if they make patches where they adjust the attacking area and adjust the space and adapt to everything, you build everything off around that.
Neymar.
You can make the fullbacks overlapping on the opponent's powerful because the opponent can't have as many players on defense. That's all fine. The That's where you need to start with this. You need to actually adjust all of your footballing stuff. You don't adjust
To take the lead. And another.
you don't adjust the animations. That's where I'm starting to realize. I think they want to
Move
make
of real
this game
promise
specifically,
developing.
and that's why we're getting animation
Found
adjustments.
nicely and in. And it's in. Javi.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to make from here.
Bernardo Silva.
I'll probably try to make some videos because I'm really
It's
excited
in.
about that one.
And it's
Need to push them forward to get the equaliser.
This is my
Bernardo
main
Silva.
Rant type video.
Lovely
I'm trying
weighted
not to be
pass.
like this in all of them.
And that should do it. A
I can talk
to
about
Neymar.
the actual clips on screen in this one. You know. But yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. I'll try to keep uploading. We'll see how it goes.
George Best.
If you want to
Not through by Best. It's in. 1-0.
Catch you next
Good run. Now can he pick out the right option? Cuts it back. Bernardo Silva for the lead now. Great defense. It's put into the middle. And it's there. Now. Neymar. Is this the equaliser? And they've scored. 30. Zico. Cafu. That's a lovely cut inside. Genuine chance. Oh. Allowed to go a long way with this. And that will be... And it's in. The little delay worked in his favour. Good penalty. It's in. No mess. And he can turn away, having done his bit. Well, the keeper made that easy for him. It's in. No messing. And that's how to put a penalty away. And it's been put away. And clinical from the spot. And he can turn away, having done his bit. Good penalty. It's in. No messing. And the keeper does what he's there to do. And with all the pressure... Omare Sawa. One and two-touch passing, making it look easy. Can he finish? Oh, it's easy. It's there. Bernardo Silva. Good work to beat the challenge. Puts it back. That's a corner. Maybe the chance to get their nose. It's a pretty good save by the keeper. And they go short with the corner. Having a try. And they've scored again.
Certainly looked lively, hasn't he? And you can see that he wants that second goal, but it's a good save from the keeper.
Dybala. And there